Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Steele, and today we're going to talk about mental aspects of natural healthcare practice. So, in our practice at Holistic Family Practice, we look at all aspects of healing. And so, one of the things that we look at is mental aspects. So, what that looks like is we're looking at more of your beliefs, your core beliefs, which are tied to your experiences, perceptions of those experiences, which then generate into beliefs and then core beliefs. And then we have defense mechanisms around it. And so then those defense mechanisms get triggered as a response to change. Right? So people come into the practice because they need some level of change in their life. What they're doing or what they've been doing is not currently working. And so what we need to do is shift the consciousness of their mind. And so their mindset can then fuel their emotions, which then can fuel their actions and then their behaviors. So there is a level of mental work that we do, whether that's through neuro-linguistic programming or we'll also do clinical hypnotherapy or various different modalities that help strengthen and encourage the mind to position itself into a healthy way. So sometimes that can be really confusing, especially because in the beginning, I tend to say a lot of things to the person that's being treated, and they may not understand what's going on. And a lot of times the ego wants to understand and interpret the information so that it can refute it or kick it out, or again, use those defense mechanisms. So we're doing a lot of rewiring of the brain so that you can have breakthroughs in the mind. So the mind is only going to take in what it thinks that it already knows, or it's going to connect with things that already really knows. And then it's going to try to kick out any new information out of just trying to keep it safe and provide some resistance. So we're always kind of working with those different constructs when we're looking at the mind. So we're looking at mindset, we're looking at beliefs, we're looking at false beliefs, we look at false identities, meaning that these identities that we create in order to survive life. We look at the various different connections that we've made, the decisions we've made, the beliefs we've made, the choices that we've made in the past, and then how those are impacting us now presently with our health. So there's a lot of work that's done in the mental aspect of it. So there's always a new shift or a new perspective that we're trying to teach and show. And sometimes that can be a little challenging for people coming in because, again, they're coming in with this idea, right, that physical health is just about the physical body, and the mind is totally separate from the physical body. However, many studies have shown, right, that your mindset is going to create your physical form. So meaning that if I believe that I'm not going to get well, then my body is going to follow suit because my mind is controlling my body. So this is the practice of psychoneuroimmunology, the mental and emotional manifestations of disease, which fascinates me to no end. And so we look at how the mind as well as the emotions impact the physical body. So we have to break those things down within the mind so that we can really dismantle those false beliefs to be able to allow for the person to move forward and get well. So in the beginning, there's a lot of assessing and evaluating, and we see what's going on, and all kinds of strategies. I like to call these mental modification strategies, because we all have various strategies of coping and strategies of dealing with things. And so what we want to do is we want to dismantle those coping strategies that haven't worked in the past, and we want to reframe out and create some new strategies that are going to be more helpful. So we don't just pull out whatever false belief is and then we don't replace it with anything. We identify the false beliefs and we look at them, we see them, we evaluate them, and then from there we shift them and reframe them into beliefs that we really want to have. And so that is all an aspect of healing. in the mind. And, this is a guided and a led experience. So my job is to be a mirror and is to show people kind of where they're stuck and where it's not working, and how it's not, however way of being they're at currently is not really serving them and serving what their goals are. And so I would say in the beginning, the mind really, it kind of runs all over the place, and it's racing and it's trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, what's doing. And so that can bring up a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, especially in the beginning, until you're really learning kind of the process that we're doing, and you begin to settle into it as you learn more skills. And so there's an element that of trust that is involved in the practice, especially if you want to have a breakthrough and you want to have change and you want to be growing and you want to evolve. I think trying to be as open-minded as you can, even if you are riddled with fear, anxiety, worry, etc., is really the best strategy when you're approaching any new experience or situation, not just the one in our practice. But our practice is definitely a little incubator for this. And so we observe the different strategies that the human being is utilizing to be able to survive life. And then we want to shift them into something that's healthier. We want to help teach people really how to settle their mind and really use their mind as a key to make decisions, not necessarily to try to fix or change or make something different. And so the mind is a very interesting place. And so we like to educate people and help them to understand, but only if that understanding is going to lead them to growth and change. So sometimes people use needing to understand as a coping strategy so that they can refute change and that they don't have to change. And that's a way, it's a strategy that people use pretty much. So the mind is really, really tricky, and we like to look at different things from different perspectives and really help you to see the full picture, the big picture. We'll sometimes look at the stages of consciousness. We'll sometimes look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We'll sometimes look at the victim consciousness. We'll look at various different consciousnesses and how we can take those things on in order for us to achieve our health goals.